Also, Bruce Almighty, Admiral Mayhem, Doesn't Matter, One Nate in Bangkok, Nacho, Rockstar, and Seb.
We are seconds away from the start of Derby, track 2, game. I don't even know what number game this
Game
is.
3 of day 3.
Game 3, day 3, track 2, 2:30 p.m.
Eugene, Oregon, and the Big O, who are great hosts. This has been so much fun. This is my first Big O tournament, and I'm so happy to be here.
We're both first-timers. This is my first Big O. First trip to Oregon, first trip to Eugene.
Same here, same here. Everybody's lined up. We have in white, that is Dr. Feelgood will be your first jammer for Texas.
In black, 110, Mr. Testosterone for Vancouver. Mr. Testosterone had an amazing day yesterday with a 29-point jam against Denver.
Oh, wow, that's impressive. Ooh. And Dr. Feelgood is so fun to watch, but he is not out first. That is Mr. Testosterone. He is your lead jammer.
Dr. Feelgood not far behind, hoping to chase down some points before Mr. Testosterone lets that jam go. Calls it off after signaling the pack to move quick. That's only 2 points picked up Vancouver. First 2 points on the board. Fresh blood Canada.
That's 338 for the Vancouver murder. Fluster clock. Listen carefully to that one later. 00 Bennett, 01.
Next up, jamming for Texas, that is Tally.
Number 8 in Black Lodge for Vancouver.
236 Harrison Ford. 256 Morrison. 31 Bloomsbury. 94 Stand Aside. 56 Iron Fist. 17.
Okay, and they're off.
Looking at the outside, that's number 7 Tally from Texas. Hit to the outside is number 8 Lodge for Vancouver. 808 Sweets. Steve Sweet looking like he's having some difficulty taking himself off the track. That takes Texas down a blocker.
Everybody caught up at turn number 2. A medic going to check on Steve.
Steve has removed himself from the track, so gameplay will continue. Lodge hit to the inside as lead is taken by Tally. Number 7, Texas.
3-on-3 as we have a penalty for murder. We also have the first successful star pass of the game, and the jam is called. Tally did manage to pass at least 2. Let's see.
2 fingers in the air.
So we have a tie game, folks, 2-2.
Vancouver played a very tight game yesterday against Denver. The game was won in the end by Vancouver, 193 to 190. That's a 3-point change. That game went back and forth. Exciting derby.
So much exciting derby, and just watching the men is so fun. It's so physical. And then I've seen a lot of gentlemen, like handshakes and hugs. So it's pretty great to see.
Cordial behavior on the track.
Yeah,
high energy. I come out of watching a men's derby game so excited about derby.
Oh, yeah. Steve Sweat still hovering down on the ground over there at turn number 1. I hope he's okay.
The medics will take time to deal with this.
So Texas has had 2 other games so far this weekend, and they took 1 win, 1 loss. Huge win against very low-ranked Collision, and also a huge loss against the amazing number 2 ranked coming into this tournament, Bridgetown.
For those of you following along at home, use hashtag BigO2018 in your tournament posts this weekend. Are you hosting an at-home viewing party? Hashtag BigO2018. Share your photos with the world.
So taking a look at Twitter quickly, everybody is watching that Denver game. Looks like Denver's doing really well against Angel City. I had a lot of fun watching Denver. I got to call the Denver versus VRDL game, and it was fun. And they did really well against them. So anyway, lots of good derby all weekend.
The 2 teams today are from Texas and Vancouver. Terry, where are you from?
I am from Texas. I'm from Austin. Most of these guys are from Dallas, Texas. But they did steal 2 players from the Austin Anarchy, which is the men's roller derby league in Austin. So actually, two of them. So there was Aquadan and Sweet Pea, both former anarchists from Austin, and now they play for Texas Men's. They are now Outlaws, from anarchy to outlaw. And then you are from Vancouver, so this worked out really well.
That's right. I'm from Vancouver Island, right close to where these Vancouver Murder players play. A lot of these Murder players are from the western province of Canada, a few from Alberta, some from Prince George, the middle of the province. So the Vancouver Murder, also a group of players that are scattered throughout their area, come together to make good derby.
Oh, that's so exciting. Derby bringing everyone together. And can you tell me why they're called the Murder? Because everybody's so anti-violence nowadays. But anyway, what is the Murder about?
I don't have the inside scoop on that. I have heard that it had to do with the MRDA abbreviation and turning that into a word. I may be wrong, though. I've been wrong about things before.
No, that's probably right. That sounds good. I used to call it Mr. Duh. I don't think that was popular either.
Much less popular. I see Steve Sweep still over there clutching the nose. The medics have brought some way to transport him. Looks like he's going to have a seat in a wheelchair there while they get a better look at what's happening.
Oh, no. And I saw him doing some he's a great blocker. Oh, I hope he's okay.
Two jams into this game. Each team has had lead once. Each team has put 2 points on the board. We've also seen one star pass already used this game by the Vancouver Murder.
Looks like Lodge from Murder and Lambo Arfidi's going to check on Steve Sweat. It looks like some track maintenance as well. I wonder if that had something to do with his fall. If there's, hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully the track's okay.
All right, a big hand.
We have so many volunteers here at the Big O 2018. Track cleanup happens quickly and efficiently.
Toughest nails. Like those galvanized nails. Extra toughness on the outside.
Right. Not like a nail from a nail gun or something.
No, not like fingernails, because those are the painful.
Rydell. Experience unmatched stability and response in a simplified, revolutionary design. The Power Die in Arius Platinum. Performance redefined.
Drive for him later. My goodness gracious. I hope he'll be all right.
I've got what they call the willies.
Fortunately, he'll be all right. We got plenty of medical care. A big shout out thanks to all of our medics. We'd like you guys to sit
Oh, because
there.
that decimal
Look
point.
pretty, 'cause
Oh, this is
damn, you're
exciting.
all pretty.
So, .338 is Flustercluck, which is going to be a fun name to say. So he's jamming for the first time today for the Murder.
Number 151, the Enabler. Also first jam for him for the Texas Men's Roller Derby.
I've been in Derby way too long.
I have advantage of saying Flustercluck more often than you.
You know, I never actually saw it. I haven't seen, you got two videos. I haven't seen Whippet, Blood on the
So I hope I don't mess it up and say something naughty on the mic, but let me practice. Flustercluck, Flustercluck, Flustercluck. All right, this might be okay. I might throw it to you. But Enabler, I saw him do some fun jamming. I mean, there are some great jammers on the Texas Outlaws. I mean, you guys are going to witness it, and many of you who are watching already know this, but Enabler is one of the ones to watch. Another favorite of mine is Dr. Feelgood.
We can look forward to Flustercluck's specific jamming style. Really a lot of motion on the track, one side to the other side quickly, but as he passes each side, he tends to hit hard towards the middle.
Yeah.
Doesn't use a lot of offensive help.
Okay, and they're off.
Enabler is out towards the front quickly.
Ooh, did you see that? Avoiding the going out of bounds and continuing. That is lead jammer status for Texas. That is 2 in a row. Fluster Cluck getting caught up, going down at turn 1. Enabler trying to sneak around the outside, getting caught up. Tapped out at bounds again, but he's right back up and through the pack. Is a grand slam for the Enabler.
That's 5 points up for the Enabler. Fluster Cluck still looking to complete that initial pass for the Vancouver Murder. And that initial is complete.
Enabler cutting through the track, through the pack, and calling off the jam.
That's 9 points this jam for the Texas Outlaws.
And there's our first lead change, folks. 11-2 in favor of the Outlaws. Another Austinite I forgot to mention is Princess, and how could I forget Princess? Princess is a favorite of mine, and he is rostered today. We will see him later.
This time we're going to take a look at Danger Zone number 5-6 in the Texas Outlaws. And we get another look at Mr. Testosterone, number 110 for the Vancouver Murder. 4th jam, this is already his 2nd time out.
Vancouver Murder 2, Mr. Testosterone for the Murder. Danger Zone for Texas Outlaws.
Both jammers push towards the outside at turn 1.
What? Danger zone.
Danger Zone now on the inside. Mr. Testosterone through first. That is lead to Vancouver. Mr. Testosterone takes a look over his shoulder to figure out how far away he is from the Danger Zone.
Ooh.
4 points to Texas.
4 points for Texas, 5 for Murder on that one. Or 3, I'm sorry, 3 for Murder. No, 4-3 Vancouver over Texas on that one. I'm sorry.
You got it.
6-14, Texas holding that lead.
Dr. Feelgood jamming for Texas. Lodge for Vancouver. Some motion there just before the whistle.
Annex's Lodge facing up against Dr. Feelgood.
Fancy footwork by Dr. Feelgood. He's out first. He is your lead jammer. Both teams taking turns getting lead jammer status so far this bout. And power jam in favor of Texas. Lodge will sit out for up to 30 seconds. Meanwhile, Dr. Feelgood through on a first scoring pass.
Dr. Feelgood picks up the lap point on that. 5 points to Texas. Texas currently down a blocker. Does not impede them too much. Vancouver also down a blocker now. Even number of blockers.
Dr. Feelgood, 1 blocker to pass, and he does going under for another 5 points for Dr. Feelgood.
Pack lined up at the turn of turn 3. Often a dangerous area to line up.
Power jam is over. Dr. Feelgood approaching the pack. Ooh. Oh. Won't take. Ooh.
Lodge through the pack quickly as he returned from the penalty box. Initial pack picked up Vancouver. Not fast enough to get points. 4 go on the board for Texas.
14 total on that jam.
But you gotta go like 3. It's like an onion. You gotta peel that joke back.
28-6 in favor of Texas. Tally back on the jam line for Texas against Fluster Cluck.
That practice paid off.
We'll see.
14 points for Texas Outlaws.
It's a little huddle of blockers right on the jam line.
Murder gonna fight back.
Both teams with 3 jammers only, 3 blockers only at the beginning of that. Bruceberry Pie comes out of the penalty box straight into the back of a Texas player. Insubordination call goes to the Texas jammer.
So power jam and lead jam for Murder.
And yeah, old time penalty like coach used to get.
Fluster Cluck having a chat with the official as they come around.
Well, at least like Stan used to get.
Murder blockers holding up at turn number 1. Doing a little passive offense. And it's working. Murder through for a grand slam for Murder.
Texas Outlaws down a blocker again. 3 blockers against Vancouver's 4. Vancouver goes with a more active offense this time, sending in Bruceberry Pie. Jam is called off. Another 5 points, Vancouver Murder.
We will have a power start for the Murder. Tally will sit out for the rest of his penalty.
Vancouver sent in Mr. Testosterone to deal with that power start.
10-point jam on that last one, taking the murder to 16. Texas holding at 28. Now we have the huddle of blockers all the way up the pivot line. Mr. Testosterone sneaking around the outside for lead jammer status for murder. Woo! Beautiful apex jump, clearing them all for 5 points for Mr. Testosterone.
Vancouver blockers preparing for that incoming jammer out of the penalty box. Number 7 Tally is using number 6 G.I. Joel as a little bit of offense as they come in. Gets hit to the inside by Bennett, who holds them back at the back. Mr. Testosterone through that pack with another 4 points for Vancouver. Texas completes their initial, falls on turn 4.
Great footwork by Tally on there. Tally also plays on Team Crop Top. Hashtag Team Crop Top for Tally. 18-point jam for the murder on that one, taking them to 34 points. And guess what? If you're drinking at home, it's time to bust out that cocktail. That's our another lead change, 34 to 28 in favor of Vancouver.
We're going into Jam 8 right now with the enabler in white for Texas, Lodge in black for Vancouver.
The enabler for Texas.
Enabler at the front of the pack. Lodge at the back, but Lodge trying to squeeze through on the inside lane, getting denied. We're sitting behind everyone at turn 1.
It's 86 Buster pulling Lodge to the very back there. Lodge trying to use that inside line again. Once again pushed over it.
A lot of action between 1 and 2. Fancy little hop. That is the enabler. He is your lead jammer. The pack spread out around turn 2.
Lodge bouncing between G.I. Joel and Diamond.
Ooh, star pass. Star pass on murder. That is number 7. That is T. Groves. Second star pass so far for murder. And the gem is called. 3 points for the enabler. Fluster Cluck back on the jam line against Danger Zone.
Danger Zone takes that start a little slower, hoping to get some offensive help from this team that's 448 pounds down.
Danger Zone through first. He is the lead jammer.
These two teams still trading back and forth with those leads. That is a 5th lead for the Texas Outlaws.
Yep. Lambo Afridi sitting out for a penalty. He's joined by
That is Bennett is now your
Pound
active
Town.
jammer for Vancouver. There's another successful star pass, Vancouver.
Yep, 4-2 pack advantage. Ooh, taking advantage all the way through. Bennett hopping through. Danger Zone through as well. Four 9 jam in favor of Texas, that last jam. And another lead change. Woo woo! Sippy sip.
Jam 10 is starting with 2-8. Dr. Feelgood jamming for the Texas Outlaws. 1-1-0 Mr. Testosterone for the Vancouver Murder. Big hit from 247 in white. That is Hollywood Hendrick.
Dr. Feelgood taking Mr. Testosterone all the way to the back. Everybody caught up at turn 1. Dr. Feelgood sneaking around and under. the front of the pack. Both jammers. Oh, Murder. Oh, Dr. Feelgood declared lead jammer and power jam in favor of Texas. Track cut penalty being called on Mr. Testosterone.
Two outlaw blockers out there to try to help number 28 Dr. Feelgood get through some of that murder. All four murder blockers. Big sexy for the drawback. Hit to the inside.
Dr. Field skating over a downed blocker and hopping through, preventing a track cut penalty. He's going to be reset all the way to turn 2.
Mr. Testosterone returns from the penalty box, hoping to catch those outlaws off guard. Doesn't succeed.
Uh-oh.
That is 4 points going to the outlaw. Initial pass completed for Mr. Testosterone.
Texas holding on to their lead with that 4-point jam. 44 for Texas, 38 for Vancouver.
That's what I felt.
6-point jam, still anybody's game. These scores have gone back and forth so far this first half.
There's no limit to things that could happen, except if you consider the rules limiting.
Those jammer penalties seeming to have an effect on the Vancouver team. Vancouver jammer has gone to the penalty box twice so far. Texas Outlaws have let their jammer go to the box once as well.
180 Bangkok. This is full name. That's it.
So all that happened, and it looks like 4 points up on the scoreboard right now. From that jam.
Sure enough.
44 for Texas, 38
WFTDA tournaments provide everyone who loves roller derby an opportunity to witness the most anticipated matchups of the year. Get all the information on the 2018 International WFTDA playoffs and championships at WFTDA.com/tournaments.
That's the Eugene Weekly. Don't read it too fast, because otherwise you read it as
Okay, so we're back. Looks okay. Full complement of blockers. Lodge back on the jam line.
I got it. Come on. Got that 5 seconds. We got
And is it a power jam? What did he miss?
See number 28, Dr. Feelgood, in the penalty box for the Outlaws right now.
So
Even the only jammer on the track, Lodge. Lodge is lead.
So we did miss that. So that is they're 2 for 2, 2 power jams each. Lodge quickly through for 5 points.
There's first scoring pass at 5 points.
Texas lining up at the front. Vancouver bringing in offense on the inside line. Dr.
Nice.
Feelgood running out of the penalty box.
Texas regrouping at turn number 3 at wall of white. Meanwhile, Dr. Feelgood at the back and through on his initial pass. The jam is called. That will hold Texas to 0 on that jam.
Another 5 points, Vancouver. 10 points picked up that jam.
shutting down. Everybody's all pretty. Chuck gets hot. What?
Jughead's not supposed to be hot.
No, he's supposed to be a weird-looking guy who eats a lot of cheeseburgers and wears a stupid hat.
So is he a hot guy in a stupid hat?
Tally back on the jam line in white for Texas, and in black, that is Fluster Cluck for Vancouver.
And I don't think Lodge is actually from that show.
We have a clear penalty box, and they are off.
Fluster Cluck.
I don't know if you can hear the house announcer, that's Phil, our head announcer, pronouncing Fluster Cluck as carefully as possible.
Lead this jam, Tally in white for the Texas Outlaws.
Tally sneaking around the outside. Oh, not really sneaking. He got tapped out of bounds at turn 1. Both jammers getting reset all the way to the jam line.
Tally able to step in front of one of his own players. That was number 247, Hollywood Hendrick. You can only cut one of your own skaters, none of the opposing skaters.
Another down skater. Hopefully he's okay. Jam is called. Oh,
That jam is called off with a fluster cluck on the ground.
and we had a penalty called on Tally on that last jam. So power jam for murder coming up. Power start coming up.
I see our jam ref signaling 4 points for the Outlaws.
Which also means technically a lead change. We have a tie game, 48 for everyone.
had 12 games so far. Vancouver's had the lead 5 times, and Texas Outlaws have had the lead the rest of the times. That's 7, wouldn't it be 7?
Sure.
I was just comparing that to how games went yesterday for the Vancouver Murder. Yesterday, Vancouver played Denver, and they had lead in the entire game 28 times, while Denver had lead 19 times. It's a significant higher number of leads for Vancouver. That is not played out in the score for that game. They won that game by only 3 points.
Yeah, they came in ranked 10, so I'll be curious how everybody's rankings change after this tournament.
Lester
let's
Cluck on his feet at the track, still paying attention to the medics. The medics not letting him go yet.
Gosh.
Buster Clock, top his nails. He's like sorting some of those little twin birds. I guess he's Stufferson. He's all right.
Skating back to the bench under his own power.
Oh, yeah, he looks good. He looks good, shaking it off.
Buster Clock.
Lester Cluck will sit out at least 3 jams if a jam is called off due to an injured skater. They may not re-enter gameplay until 3 jams have passed.
So we're back. Power start for the Vancouver Murder.
Tally sitting in the penalty box with a penalty assessed at the end of that last jam.
Yeah, I did see a couple people pointing fingers and wagging them.
And that's Mr. Testosterone back on the jam line for the Murder. Is it the Murder or just Murder?
The Vancouver Murder.
For murder.
The chant of the Vancouver Murder as they warm up. Their team call is, "This is murder."
Oh, nice.
That's as intimidating as the Canadians can get.
Official timeout. Everything gets settled. Make sure everybody's all right.
All the blockers lined up at the pivot line.
Coming over and checking on him. Says it all right. But then again, he's also got a star tattooed on the side of his head. So
3 blockers for Outlaws, 4 blockers for Vancouver.
Mr. Testosterone up the jam. All by
Testosterone takes a whip off of 505 side of sausage, helps him get around that outside lead to Vancouver.
And Bruceberry Pie putting herself right in the right spot for him to just fly over her and through everyone for lead jammer status. That was really pretty. A great play by Bruceberry Pie. Oof.
Testosterone takes a couple hits. Big hit there. Nice.
Big hit by Rhino, taking him out of bounds, but he's right on his way. Mr. Testosterone through for a grand slam for Mr. Testosterone. Power jam over, Tally out on his initial pass.
Bennett notices, hits him out.
Tally shut down by Bruceberry Pie on the outside lane. Meanwhile, Mr. Testosterone already back around.
Tally looking for some offensive help from Lambo Arfides. Gets him through. That's initial pass completed for the Texas Outlaws.
Yep.
Testosterone calls that jam off from the ground. 4 more points to Vancouver.
That's 9 total on that one. 9-0. Vancouver winning that jam by 9 points.
That takes the lead solid to Vancouver.
There it is. Drinky, drinky, y'all. And boo! That's for you at home. That's for you, Shady Hawkins.
I'm sure there's something involved there that I don't understand.
It's a wrestling reference, and it's now the new fan cheer for the Texas Outlaws. Shady Hawkins is moonlighting as a wrestling announcer as well as a derby announcer.
Looks like we have a piece of equipment on the track. Could be part of a knee pad, could be part of an elbow. Number 151, the enabler, still looking for an initial pass with the helmet cover in hand. Number 8, Lodge for Vancouver. That is your lead jammer right now.
I do like his Lodge skating by. He checks his own caps.
And Lodge already halfway through the pack and calling off the jam, holding Texas to 0 on that jam and putting up 4 points himself.
As one of you is going to be
All skaters, check your gear.
This reminds me, safety. All protective gear must be worn if you are on skates. No skating allowed in the lobby except on the mats leading to the restrooms. And especially on the floor.
yeah.
So, check.
Welcome back to the Danger Zone. Danger Zone jamming for Texas this next jam.
This is is our first time seeing Harrison Ford starting as a jammer this game so far.
As a Star Wars geek, I love his name. Harrison Ford at the front of the pack.
Hit to the outside by White Pivot, 126, Lambo Arfides.
Harrison Ford just had to go back behind Lambo.
Lambo Arfides with some quick footwork. Harrison Ford trying to use brute force to get through that tight pack. Danger Zone still working at the back of the pack for a first pass, while a lead is picked up by Harrison Ford.
Power jam for the murder. Danger Zone will sit out for up to 30 seconds. Meanwhile, there's another 5 points for Harrison Ford. Great first jam for Harrison Ford.
Wide open inside line, picks up those 5 points, then calls it off. Forces a power start in favor of Vancouver. Blocker power as well for Vancouver, with only 3 outlaw blockers on the track. Those Vancouver blockers having a quick word.
Texas held scoreless for 4 jams in a row. Mr. Testosterone back on the jam line. Danger Zone sitting out for the rest of his penalty.
Power start and pack advantage. It is to Vancouver.
Big Sexy clearing some space for Mr. Testosterone.
Start this off. Well, Invincible, this is low, so some people will be going off.
Looks like 2-5-6 from Vancouver. Morrison taking a seat in the penalty box. Lead is Mr. Testosterone.
Murder having 5 of 6 lead jams in a row. 5 of 6.
Danger Zone back at the pack. Looking for initial. Hit by Big Sexy.
4 points on that last pass for Mr. Testosterone. And he's, ooh.
That's a cutting call for Mr. Testosterone. Power switch to Texas.
Yep, he will lose his lead jammer status as well. We do have a star pass by Texas.
That's to number 8-6, Buster.
Buster now with the star up on prize. Was the pivot, now the
Only jammer on the track. Buster's trying to get through. 2-5-6 from Vancouver. Morrison causing trouble at the back. Big Sexy and T. Grimes join up. They all 4 of those Vancouver blockers at the back of the pack. Texas blockers trying to stay in their way, do a little man-on-man coverage.
Great defense at the front by the Murder. Oh my gosh. Okay, Buster. Buster out. Out on his. Sorry.
Testosterone also out of the penalty box. That's 4 points to Vancouver. Initial completed for Texas.
Yeah, he just snuck right through. Okay, jam is called. Buster held to 0 points on that jam. That makes 5 in a row scoreless for Texas.
Vancouver 8 points in that jam. We still have over 8 minutes of derby in this half. We've already been through 16 jams.
This game is very exciting. It's going by super fast. That's Lodge back on the jam line in black for Vancouver and Dr. Feelgood in white for the Texas Outlaws. Lodge,
Raspberry Pie trying to hit to the inside, right off the line there. Misses the mark.
Lodge getting lead jammer status, quickly avoiding a truck, just hopping through, staying right on the line on his toe stops and continuing on his way. He's already halfway around on a scoring pass. Oh no, now he's getting reset all the way to the pivot line. Dr. Feelgood still on his initial pass, pushing his way around through on the inside of lane 2. He is through on his initial pass. Jam is called. Dr. Feelgood motioning to the rest. Give me my points. He did get, it looks like 3.
2 points for Texas Outlaws.
Thank you,
4
4-2.
points Vancouver.
78-50 in favor of Vancouver. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half.
And And more sevens on the track. 7 tally for Texas men, 7 T. Groves for Vancouver. This is 7 T. Groves' first jam start this game as jammer.
Yes. I like lucky sevens.
I see our NSO at the front of the pack there signaling there's been a team timeout called by Vancouver.
So Vancouver will be their favorite today because they're the murder.
That is second team timeout called by Vancouver.
Ravens.
I got you. Is that what the murder is about?
Well, yeah. Did you think it was about killing people? Yeah. Oh, that's why they got a raven right on the front of the jersey. See, right there was this Vancouver murder. They got
Hit this derby gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear and unmatched service for all your derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this.
Quick jammer change for Texas. It's going to be the enabler, so no battle of the sevens this time, but enabler jamming for Texas
well, Timmy, now T. Graves.
against T. Groves.
Groves.
Thinking about death too much.
He's digging Graves.
As much as usual, but saying it out loud.
Enabler caught up in the bag. Great defense by Vancouver at this moment.
Similarly,
No way to get past Big Sexy on that
Biggs,
inside
I know,
line.
he was just towering over him, looking down like, no.
The officials
Oh.
didn't like that. They're sending Big Sexy to the penalty box.
Yep.
That's about half of the Vancouver's defensive line lost there.
With that, woo, hippity hop. That's lead jammer status going to the enabler.
status for Texas Outlaws.
That's the first lead for the Outlaw in 7 jams.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Woo, and he's already through quickly for 5 points for Texas
Points for Texas. Up to 55.
as the power jam continues.
Texas loses.
Oh, it's not a power jam.
Texas loses their pivot now. Number 448 takes a seat in the penalty box. That's Pound Town. Big Sexy ready to join the back of the pack.
The enabler through again, 5 more points. 2 grand slams so far for Big Sexy. Successful star pass by the murder.
That's to number 256 Morrison.
Morrison trying to go for it.
It's a 3rd star pass for the murder.
By Texas, the
10-point jam taking Texas to 60.
That's going to be 10-0.
Vancouver holding at 78.
78, 11 points, excuse me. 78-61. That was 40-ish seconds left in the first period.
Another point seems to have gone on the board there. We're at 78-61. Number 7 in white, Tally. Black Vancouver, Mr. Testosterone lead this jam.
And Tally out there for Texas.
Pound Town released from the penalty box. Tally through on his initial pass.
Pack is moving fast. Blockers looking to refirm up their alignment.
Mr. Testosterone denying Tally any points on that jam, calling it off. But he's in for 4 points for the murder.
Fall left the radar and buy at Hit This. Our Bidder Village has one lead. You can find them on track 1.
Next up, that's Dr. Feelgood jamming against Lodge.
I guess you could fall in love with the radar move. Fell in love with the radar move.
The whole pack of blockers moving midway between the pivot line and the start line.
That was a lot of whistles. Those were all from a different
Yeah,
track.
those whistles are not.
Dr. Feelgood trying to stick around. Big Sexy saying, "Thou shalt not pass." Oh, Dr. Feelgood said, "Yes, I shall pass." He has passed, and he is the lead jammer.
Lodge still working on initial for Vancouver. That's him through the pack. Initial pass completed Vancouver. Both jammers looking to pick up points. Dr. Feelgood calls that jam off. Looks like he was concerned about some play on the track there.
He did manage to get 3 points on that run, taking Texas to 64. 82 for Vancouver. Nice hug between Danger Zone and Flustercluck.
3 points on that, but damage stopped there. If that makes sense.
We've seen a lot of friendly play between the men this Big O.
That'll make me happy. Speaking of making somebody
Woo.
happy, Flustercluck back on
Little leapfrog out there, and Danger Zone looking. Oh yeah, he's getting.
That's a penalty.
Yeah,
what's out there against Danger.
There's a few hand signals with that.
I
Look at them
know.
blocking with the
and
head.
everyone going to the penalty box. Okay, maximum use of the penalty box by Texas. Full seats. Only one blocker on the track. Now 2 blockers for Texas.
Flustercluck picks up 5 points with that one blocker to pass.
Flustercluck bringing in 5 game points there.
2 blockers on the track for the Outlaw right now. 4 murder blockers. Flustercluck signals his own teammates how he wants them to help out. Asks for some passive offense. He picks up 5 points on his pass.
That's Rhino and Hollywood Hendrick at the front of the pack. Power Jam is over. Danger Zone out. Still on his initial.
Empty penalty box at the end of that jam. Next jam will start with a full cohort of roller derby players.
Big 14-point jam by Flustercluck on that last one. 96 for Vancouver. Texas holding at 64. And more hugs. They're so cute. I love it. The camaraderie is amazing to see amongst these men.
That's 448 Pound Town jamming for the Texas Outlaws. This is the first time Pound Town will be starting as a jammer this game. This is against Mr. Testosterone.
Now we have Pound Town versus Mr. Testosterone.
Mr. Testosterone hops over a skater on the outside of turn 1, takes the inside at turn 2, lead Mr. Testosterone for Vancouver.
Pound Town, look at his strength, just pushing his way through. Oh, he did get tapped out of bounds at turn 2. Mr. Testosterone through. Uh-oh.
Lead lost by Mr. Testosterone. No points picked up, but a free trip to the penalty box.
What was that? That would look like an out of play. What was this? I don't know what the penalty was. But Power Jam for Texas. Lead jammer status lost. That means Pound Town is the only jammer on the track. Getting knocked out of bounds at turn 4. Resetting behind turn 3. Behind from my location. Oh, looks.
Remove the helmet cover, skating in hand. Still looking at initial pass for this, so no points to be picked up. Good time to put that helmet cover in your hand and try to sneak by. Unfortunately, speaking of sneaking by, that was a quick return from Mr. Testosterone with 4 points for the murder as the helmet cover was handed off to number 126, Lambo Arfides, jumping the apex and picking up 4 points for the Texas Outlaws.
He did that with sass. Oh, double Power Jam for Texas so far this jam.
That was a forearm penalty going to Mr. Testosterone.
Lambarfides returning back behind everyone at turn 2, hopping through, landing it, and continuing.
Lambo Arfides making good use of those apexes.
Yep, 9 points so far for Lambo. Continuing on that high speed, spinning around on the outside. Great jam by Lambo, asking the audience, uh-oh.
Up and over, number
Oh, and the jam is
256
over.
of
I missed the,
Morrison.
yeah, I'm sorry, I missed the whistles on that, but that was a great jam. 14 points for Texas, 8 for Vancouver, and it is halftime. 104-78 for Vancouver, in the favor of Vancouver. We'll be back here in about 9.5 minutes.
Looks like we're going into halftime with Mr. Testosterone in the penalty box. That means we will start with him in the penalty box. Power advantage for Texas. I'll see you back here in about 8 minutes.
And we're back. Hello, how was your break? Big thanks and hello to Nino and Spank all the way in Austin, Texas. They are watching, scouting. We're almost back. So great last jam by Texas on that last one, taking them to 78. Vancouver still in the lead with 104 points. We do have a power jam, power start for Texas. Mr. Testosterone will start in the penalty box. Mr. Testosterone is the only one in, and it's not really danger, but he has 4 penalties. for Vancouver, and Zimmer has 3. And on Texas, there's only 2 people with 3, and it's Pound Town and Tally both have 3 penalties. But they're still kind of safe. If you average 3 per half, you still get to play.
Penalties played a pretty heavy hand in Vancouver's game yesterday as well. 18 points in the first half. 4 of those were jammer penalties. The jammer penalties are when they're seeing turnover in points. Lead jammer in this first jam is Texas skater number 5-6.
Danger zone.
Danger zone. Danger zone already picking up points. Initial pass completed by Mr. Testosterone. 4 points to Texas.
That takes them to 82. 104 for Vancouver. Dr. Feelgood on the jam line for Texas.
That looks like Lodge from Vancouver. Both teams lining up tight at the pivot line, staying there at the 5-second call.
Yep. Oh, they're still there. Ooh, 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 little jammer on jammer action. Dr. Feelgood at the back of the pack, but look at, that's Lodge at the front of the pack. He is your lead jammer.
Lodge right now has beat the men. And lead jammer over Dr. Feelgood. There's a better guy. I'm going to get a better one.
That's Bruceberry Pie trying to go the wrong direction. Runs smack into Outlaw.
Dr. Feelgood doing what he does. He gets really low and he's through the pack, but yes, denied any points by Vancouver. We have a 4-point jam for Vancouver.
Somebody from Texas friended me on Facebook the other day, but all I saw was Rick Flair, and I was like, yo.
Going into Jam 3, number 151, the Enabler. In white for the Outlaws, 338 Flustercluck for Vancouver.
Where the bar Ric Flair goes up and goes, I'm like 104 kamikazes threes.
A lot of motion on the part of the Jammers. Both of them looking to have a fluid start. Flustercluck pushing to the in. Enabler pushing out. A little bit of movement. Flustercluck gets some motion at the front. Penalty called on the pivot for the Outlaws.
That would be Pound Town's 4th penalty, but with lead jammer status going to Flustercluck.
A hard land on the backside for the Outlaws jammer, number 151, the Enabler, on their way to the penalty box.
So power jam for Vancouver and 5 more points as well for Vancouver.
Big Sexy taking up a lot of room on the track.
Pivot trying to do some being denied. That was a hard takedown. That was side of sausage. I'll take that hit with a side of sausage, please.
Flustercluck considering if he landed that apex jump, decides to call it off. Some discussion inside the track.
Was this big, cute, beautiful? Yeah, it was legal. Everything's fine. Everybody's fine.
Quick 5 points for the murder on that last jam. 113 to 182 for murder in favor of murder.
Everybody just go to the box. It's where you'll see your friends.
Our NSO calls 5 seconds, blows the whistle. Jammer released from the penalty box. Number 151, the Enabler, only jammer on the track at the moment.
The rules there.
Enabler being declared lead jammer for Texas. Power, sorry.
338 Flustercluck returns from the penalty box. That power is ended. Flustercluck obviously received a penalty at the end of that last jam.
I'd like to see your standard practices, sir. Your standard
Oh, and he's going right back. Track cut penalty by Flustercluck.
I literally was just like, what am I stopping?
All right, the Enabler, lead jammer out there.
Hit to the inside, dances along that rope. 5 points picked up by the Enabler. Offense comes by the, what I can only see as one blocker.
4-2 pack advantage for Texas. Enabler taking advantage of that through the pack for another 5 points. Texas trying to chip away at this lead. Woo! Fancy feet, beautiful pirouette and turn or whatever. Oof. Power gem over. Great hop by Flustercluck, sneaking out of the penalty box, hopping over everyone on his. That was his initial pass. 15-point jam, at least for the enabler on that last one.
Looks like another 3 points at the end of that. 18 points.
That means it's a 16-point game, folks. 116 for Murder, 100 for Texas. Lambo Arfides officially taking the helmet cover for this jam. He had a great jam, last jam of the first half, scoring 14 points. After a star pass, he will now start as a jammer. Lambo Arfides.
Texas only used that star pass twice in the first half.
Mr. Testosterone jamming for Murder. Mr. Testosterone is the lead jammer.
Lambo Arfides hops over the apex, lands behind his own players, scatters a little bit, but that is an initial not completed forearm call for Lambo Arfides.
Second power jam for Vancouver so far this half.
Mr. Testosterone looking to get through that inside apex, pushed over the rope, recycles to the back.
Oof.
And we have another wardrobe malfunction. There's a piece of gear on the track there. It's not impeding anybody's ability to play.
So Mr. Testosterone calling off the jam, icing Lambo Arfides in the penalty box. It will be a power start for the Murder. Coming up for jam number 6. Even though the scoreboard says 5, I'm pretty sure it's 6. I'm not sure if there's an error or not.
Switch till 6 when the whistle blows.
Oh, there you go.
Lodge is our jammer for this 6th jam. Number 8 for Vancouver. Once again, both teams packed up at that pivot line. Vancouver looking to scatter the Outlaws. Trying to trap number 5-1-2 at the back of the pack there to maintain pack.
Woo! Power gem over. Lambo Arfides jumping through, slicing through that pack on his initial pass.
Lodge is lead, picks up his speed when he sees Lambo Arfides moving. Hit to the inside, picks up only 1 point, still an advantage.
Yeah. To the internet.
I got distracted by cat videos.
Number 2-8, Dr. Feelgood in white this time. 3-3-8, Flustercluck in black.
122 to 100. 22 minutes, a couple of seconds left in this.
Flustercluck obviously no longer flustered from that injury early on.
If I knock him out, I just need basically to beat him by points.
With a whip off of teammate number 7, Flustercluck, lead jammer, Vancouver.
They're still trying to jam through. They're getting held up bad by Morrison.
Ooh, everybody can go down at turn 2. Dr. Feelgood trying to do a little jammer on jammer action going down. Jam is called. Texas denied any points on that jam, but we do have 4 for Murder. 126 for Murder, 100 for Texas.
So we're having a raffle. Everyone.
Texas held scoreless for 4 jams.
I want to win, you want to win, we all want to win, but we can't all be winners. How do you increase your chance to win? Buy a wingspan worth of tickets for the raffle. See the big old merch booth for your
Danger Zone back on the jam line for Texas.
Mr. Testosterone for Vancouver. 3 Vancouver blockers at the back, ready to receive number 5-6 Danger Zone. Mr. Testosterone gets through the pack. Lead Vancouver.
Danger Zone's stuck in the back of the pack on his initial pass. Oh, he's through now. Star pass. First star pass for Texas this game, but the jam is called.
That star pass went to number 8-6 Buster. Three points held up in the air for the Murder.
That takes them to 129.
There's a bunch of discussion happening on the track. See 2 Vancouver blockers taking a knee while Zimmer is having a discussion with an official.
We still have over 20 minutes left in this half, the second half of this game. Lambo Arfides taking the star again for Texas. Oh,
There are a lot of skaters in the penalty box right now. Looks like we have a Vancouver blocker, 2 Outlaw blockers, 2 jammers on the track though.
oh, and look at the love, more hugs.
That's Lambo Arfides and Lodge. Lambo Arfides lining up well back of the jammer line, probably looking to get some speed. There's a tripod of Vancouver blockers waiting in the middle of the track for him.
I want to know what Lambo does for his cross training because he is so fast and nimble. But Lodge beat him through a little more nimble this one. That's 4 lead jams in a row for Murder. Lambo Arfides is out, but he is just so fun to watch. But we don't get to watch him this time. Jam is called.
Jam is called with no points either team. Even draw.
Enabler back on the jam line for Texas against Flustercluck.
Familiar lineup of blockers there for Vancouver too. Stand aside, Bruiseberry Pie.
Murder controlling the board right now.
Looks like Iron Fist out there blocking as well. 247, Hollywood Hendrick in white for the Outlaws. Does not stop Flustercluck. Fluster gets lead.
Another 0-0 jam. I believe that's 3 in a row.
Vancouver sending out a predictable lineup of jammers so far this second half. Consistently, Mr. Testosterone, Lodge, and Flustercluck over and over. If you've got it working, don't change it. Vancouver has had lead 6 times in a row so far this second half. Texas Outlaws have been free of points for those same 6 jams.
Oh,
We're
yep.
guessing what's happening right now. Mr. Testosterone lining up the jam. They felt that the jam had been called due to injury on behalf of Mr. Testosterone. Mr. Testosterone arguing, I called it from the ground because I am Mr. Testosterone.
I don't know if our microphones are picking up the banter from the bench in-house. Phil Dirt making up some interesting dialogue for the skaters as they're having their discussion on the track there. Mr. Testosterone is being sent back as the Vancouver jammer. Officials have agreed that Mr. Testosterone had that jam that he was in last called off due to injury, so they're asking him to sit for 3 jams. Vancouver will have to replace their jammer. Looks like Lodge will take his place.
Quick Barrett's Rydell skates for precision beats performance.
And that's Dr. Feelgood jamming for Texas.
Well, it's going to turn into 11 in a second, so he's going to stay out.
Woo.
Quick hit to the outside, defensive jamming on Dr. Feelgood's part. Lodge stuck behind all those white players. Quickly hands the helmet cover off to number 256 Morrison of Vancouver.
Dr. Feelgood declared lead jammer already at turn number 1. And sneaking through on the inside. And then around the outside for a full scoring pass. Looking back at the pack to make sure they still have him captured.
Jam ref holding up 4 points on that pass.
And there's 5 more. He's already back again. Round again. Dr. Feelgood trying to come back for a 3rd scoring pass.
256 hit hard to the outside for Vancouver. That's Morrison on the ground. Back up quickly. Puts that helmet cover back on. Active jammer Vancouver Morrison. Number 28 through the pack one more time. Bruiseberry Pie not able to hold back Dr. Feelgood. 4 more points. Texas Outlaws.
13-0 so far this jam in favor of Texas.
Morrison looking to pick up some points for Vancouver. That is a Not a penalty. I thought I saw a gesture there from the official. That is 4 points picked up for Vancouver by Morrison.
And I feel good to call off that jam.
Texas with 3 more points by the end of that jam.
3 more, 16 total. Texas Outlaws 4 for Vancouver Murder.
16 points that jam for the Texas Outlaws.
Slight change for
Okay, Flustercluck is rested for his 3 jams. He's back on the jam line against Enabler. Enabler jamming for Texas. Enabler at the front of the back. Turn 2, caught up at turn 2. Only one more blocker to pass, which he does. He is your lead jammer. That is Flustercluck.
A lot of action still there at turn 2. Helmet cover makes it through, gets put back onto the head of White Jammer. 151, the Enabler. Penalty box is empty at the end of this jam. 4 points go to Vancouver.
Only a 20-point game right now. Vancouver holding on to their lead for this whole half.
We've completed 12 jams so far this game. We have more than half of it still to go. That's 110, Mr. Testosterone back on the track now.
Oh, he was the one that took off for 3. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
But
126.
Yep, Lambo Arfidi's jamming again, going down hard on the straightaway. Both jammers were going knocked out of bounds and returning.
T. Groves.
Yeah, great blocking by T. Groves. Lambo Arfidi stashing the helmet cover. Motioning,
Looking to
yes,
pass it
super
through.
sneaky helmet cover. Star pass.
That goes to 448 Pound Town.
Pound Town out hot on his heels, but he is 1 lap behind Mr. Testosterone.
Mr. Testosterone with 4 points in hand already.
Oof. Pound Town. Oh, great maneuvering by Pound Town. He did score, looks like 3 points on that, 2 points on that pass by Pound Town.
4 points Vancouver.
9 total for Vancouver. 146 to 119 in favor of Vancouver.
I believe I saw a high block call at the end of that jam. That puts one of the outlaw blockers in the penalty box. Blocker number 505, Side of Sausage, starting in the penalty box for the Outlaws.
When I heard you say yesterday, I thought you were
Lodge number 8 in black for the Vancouver Murder. 2-8 Dr. Feelgood in white for the Texas Outlaws.
I feel like
Lodge hit to the inside. It's all the way back. Number 6, G.I. Joel.
Both jammers reset to the back of the pack. Dr. Feelgood through. And yes, declared lead jammer for Texas.
That's Texas's 4th lead this half. Lodge completes initial.
Oh, wow. Beautiful windmill action by Dr. Feelgood as he gets through the pack and calls off the jam. 4 points for Texas on that jam.
Texas denies any points to Vancouver.
Next up, Danger Zone versus Clusterfuck.
Nope. Flustercluck.
Oh, gosh, what did I say? Oh, no. Pardon my French. I warned y'all it might happen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
If you could hear our in-house announcers, the same action happened on the in-house microphone at the same time.
Jinx, he owes me a Coke.
That stand aside, watching closely to make sure he is in the engagement zone before making contact with number 5-6. 5-6 for White. Danger Zone is lead jammer at this time. Flustercluck through the pack successfully.
Lead jammer status went to Danger Zone. He did call off the jam.
2 points picked up for White.
0 for Murder. Dial 0 for Murder.
I'm gonna sit down and read or write a strongly written email. I'd like to have a word with your manager.
You can hear the announcers talking about the letters being written about the word flubbing. But Lambo Arfidi's back on the jam line, signaling a big X to his bench.
Looks like he's going to try to call some kind of penalty from someone. Not paying attention when that 5 seconds was called, though. Surprise, there's a whistle. Time to start running. Mr. Testosterone was paying attention. Through the pack, lead jammer.
There for Texas. Mr. Testosterone bouncing way through the pack.
That's 5 points picked up. Mr. Testosterone for Vancouver Murder.
Gonna go join us at our after party at the pickleball bar.
That's G.I. Joel going to the penalty box. 4-3 pack advantage for Murder.
Lambo Arfidi still working on that initial pass. Another 5 points go to Mr. Testosterone of the Vancouver Murder. Initial completed for the Outlaws.
Texas blockers trying to regroup at the front, being denied. Only one blocker to pass.
Mr. Testosterone looks over his shoulder to figure out where Lambo Arfidi's might be. Calls it off before he gets to pass any skaters. No points on that pass for Outlaw. 3 more for the Vancouver Murder.
That's 13 total, taking them to 159. Texas holding at 125.
Nice plug.
Enabler back on the jam line for Texas against Lodge for Murder.
125 Lodge versus the Enabler off the line.
Lodge at the front of the pack.
The Enabler gets taken
Enabler
out
at the
by
back.
Number 1-7 from Vancouver, Zimmer, maintaining the pack between.
G.I. Joel out of the pack. Look at that assist on the inside, opening it up. Oh, big takedown.
Zimmer notices. Hit
Great.
to the inside.
Great hit by Zimmer. Enabler right back up, though, and inbounds, trying to try it again. He's resetting. Lodge.
Lodge looking to get around the outside, the inside, the fall down. Success.
Uh-oh.
Not success. That is a cutting penalty to Lodge.
That means Enabler still can get lead jam. Lead jammer status for this one going down. Power jam for Texas. Oof. Enabler through the pack. And Enabler has been declared the lead jammer of this jam. Texas having lead jammer status 3 of the last 4 jams.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes. I have all day.
Whew. Great offense by Texas on this jam. Opening up the inside. And great jamming by Enabler. He is through for a grand slam for Texas. Power jam is over. Lodge through on his initial.
That was 5 points held up for the Outlaw at that time.
Enabler looking back. Oh,
That
calling
gets
off the.
called off.
Yeah, he called it off, but a little too late.
4 points, both jammers, and that last pass.
9 total for Texas. 134 to 163 in favor of Vancouver.
Enable himself to pick up 10.
10 to 4, 163, 135.
I'll take over saying this name for now. This is Fluster Cluck, number 338 for Vancouver.
And Dr. Feelgood jamming. And we do have timeout.
Looking for the NSO. A timeout signaled for white team. That is the Texas Men's Roller Derby, Texas Outlaws. The team timeout.
Tonight's the night, the end of the tournament weekend, official Big O after party. Party like it's 1999. 'cause I got
We have less than 10 minutes of gameplay in this half, in this game.
Apparently got to wear flannel shirts.
But that's not the end of the Derby action on track number 2. Next up, it will be St. Louis versus Houston. More men's roller derby right here at 4:30.
I have not. I changed from flared jeans.
Experience world-class edging with the Radar Halo. Available in a full range of hardnesses from 84A all the way up to 103A. There's a halo for everyone.
Like, how come we didn't dress up for my 80s party? I'm wearing the wrong.
So again, we're going into this 18th jam with number 28, Dr. Feelgood, in white for the Texas Outlaws. Number 338, Fluster Cluck, in black for the Vancouver Murder.
Because the 80s also just a weird time to be alive. I don't know.
Giant shoulder pads.
Fluster Cluck knocked down inside a tight pack of skaters back onto his feet. There's a no pass, no penalty. So Flustercluck through first, not lead. Lead goes to the Outlaws, quickly called off, denying any points to Flustercluck. Flustercluck stops and waits at the jammer line. Looks like he's decided he's going again.
Danger Zone jamming for Texas up next. Texas really doing well these last 5 jams. They've had lead jammer status 4 of the last 5 jams.
Mr. Testosterone wins the Battle of Wills against Flustercluck. Mr. Testosterone jamming for the murder this jam. Number 5-6, Danger Zone for the Outlaws. Danger Zone at the front, lead jammer, Texas Outlaws.
Continuing their roll, their streak. They're trying this momentum switching. They've over 8 minutes left on the game clock. Great jump and a leap through. And 5 points for Texas.
Penalty box was empty for a second. 1 blocker each back in the penalty box right now. Teams are evenly matched.
5 more points for Danger Zone. Mr. Testosterone out on his initial pass. Woo! Calling the jam after a missed attempt at an apex jump. Uh-oh.
It's a hard land when you're busy calling the jam with your hands.
Everybody's cool. 10 points. Big smiles and handshakes all around. Get back up, though, 10 points.
145 to 163. Vancouver holding on to their lead.
We have 151 in white. That is the Enabler jamming for the Outlaws. 8 in black. Lodge for the Vancouver Murder.
Murder held to 0 points for 3 jams in a row.
All right, Lodge versus the Enabler.
Lodge through quickly, tippy-toeing right before the line for lead jammer status for Murder.
Not far behind the Enabler, making a run for points, looking for some help from his...
Whew. Oh my God, so fast.
What an aerial display.
That was beautiful.
3 points. 3 points for the Outlaws.
Great move, the Enabler outscoring Vancouver on that last jam. Oh, 3 for everyone. I'm just kidding. 166 to 148.
And another finger. That makes 4 points to the Outlaws.
$166 to 149.
Score correction, I believe.
Dr. Feelgood back on the jam line.
Our NSO is signaling a timeout called by Vancouver Murder.
But not crossing the do not cross line in the penalty box.
Well, someone's got their foot in, but I'm not gonna name names.
Yeah, don't bring it up. Mr. T. Cough, cough.
Use the Big O hashtag in all of your tournament posts this weekend. The official hashtag of the tournament, hashtag Big O 2018. If you're having a viewing party at home, tag the Big O. Share your photos.
Roller derby is an amateur sport.
It looks like we are going to start this next jam with Lodge in the penalty box. That makes a power start in favor of Texas.
That means Dr. Feelgood will be jamming, the only jammer on the track for this next jam. Power start for Texas.
Oh, after party. Party like it's 1990.
Texas sends all of their blockers.
Lead jammer status going to Texas. Texas really needing this right now. They only trail by 17 points.
Vancouver staying in front of the pack for this power jam.
Beautiful. Dr. Feelgood, great skating. Oh my God.
Walker taking it in turn for a hit to the inside. Power jam ends as Lodge returns from the penalty box. Lodge has that helmet cover in hand, looking to make an initial pass.
Dr. Feelgood, beautiful how he just spins around, stays in bounds, taking hit after hit, but continuing on his way.
Dr. Feelgood battered forward and backwards.
And a star pass for Murder.
That's to 256 Morrison.
Second star pass to Morrison as the jam concludes.
4 points on that pass for the Outlaws.
9 points total on that jam, and Texas only trailing by 11 points. 166 or ish. My math is awful.
We have 5 minutes of Derby. This game could still go either way.
It's 8 points. 8 points separating these teams. This is very exciting. Enabler back on the jam line.
Fluster Cluck for Vancouver.
Thank you. And they're off. Enabler through quickly, tiptoeing on the inside for lead jammer status for Texas.
Fluster Cluck getting a penalty on that outside hit. This is a power jam in favor of Texas Outlaw. 5 points for Texas.
Oh my God.
They
Okay.
can taste the lead change.
5th power jam for Texas just in the second half. Enabler through.
And that's a lead change with that 5 points for Texas.
10-point jam for Texas. Enabler through again, make that 15-point jam so far for the Enabler this jam. Power jam over.
2, 1. Blocker headed to the penalty box for the Outlaw. Fluster Cluck comes in fast, knocks to his knees, taking a moment to assess his options, using Big Sexy as a screen. That's a good screen. Take a step through the inside. That's initial pass completed by Fluster Cluck.
Oh, Enabler. Oh, waited a little bit long to call that one off. Murder on the scoreboard for that run. But 5 more on that run for Enabler.
That's a 20-point jam.
178 to 170. Texas has taken the lead. Everyone take a drink. Everyone in Texas, have a sip of your beer or a sip of your margarita.
Looking to our NSO out on the track. This is an official timeout.
Send the box, but it also received the helmet to the nose, I believe. So Diamond's going to have something subbed in the penalty box. Normally don't sub in the penalty box, of course, in case of injuries. All the rules go up.
Whew. How many lead changes is that? There hasn't been a lead change at this half at all. This is the first lead change for the second half.
Most of our lead changes in the first half were early on in the game, so Vancouver has dominated this game up until this point. Domination has been taken over by the Texas Outlaw. Texas really changing who's had lead status in the jams this last quarter of the game. Really, they've really owned that. I'm seeing at least, well, we all know my math isn't good.
7 of
Let's say
9.
7. There we go.
7 of 9 lead jams. Less than 3.5 minutes left in this game. Oh, this is so exciting. Because you know, Vancouver was ranked 10 coming into this. Texas unranked coming in for the start of this season.
All skaters are off the track during this official timeout, taking that time to regroup with their teams, discuss strategy. Looks like Dr. Feelgood doesn't need to talk about anything. He's got his strategy decided. Out there waiting near the jam line.
He's got his power stance. He's ready.
He's reminding his team, this is where we play derby. Some NSOs checking in on action in the penalty box. One of those Outlaw blockers reported to the penalty box on a penalty called by an official, but they had received a hit to the face with a potential nose injury. They have been substituted out. It's the only time you can make a substitution in the penalty box is when it's due to an injury.
Or if they're at head 7, if they get ejected.
That's correct.
But Murder's ready. They're discussing this. They mean business.
They are signaling a big O.
Bruceberry Pie also plays for one of the Terminal City Roller Girls house teams. I can tell you from personal experience, those bruises aren't so sweet as pie.
And she's also on Team Canada. Or she was at the World Cup, right? Was she on it?
That's a lot of derby.
It's so much derby.
That's a life commitment. I have a theory that if you have leg tattoos, that makes you go much faster. I see leg tattoos on Bruceberry Pie.
I love leg tattoos so much, and if I could take the pain, I would get more. I only have one tattoo, and it's a tramp stamp, but it's before everyone was getting them. I got it in the early 2000,
Muffin.
the year 2000. I know.
So hopefully we'll find out what's going on with this.
And even worse, it's tribal. It's beautiful.
If I didn't know you better, I would see all kinds of stereotypes there. We've had a good opportunity to get to know each other, this big O muffin.
Yes, we are roommates. And we have found out what happens when you have 7 strange announcers choosing to live in a house. There's 7 of us. Oh, there's 6. 6 of us now.
It's loud.
in
That's what I can tell you. It's a loud night.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I went to bed early. You won most sleep last night.
I did win.
Yes. I definitely lost on night 1. But yes, it's been fine. I have my box of wine.
Oh, the box of wine.
The box of wine to fill my muggo wine.
I'm going to race you home for that wine tonight.
Oh yeah, please, we got to finish it. That's the goal tonight. But I think I do want to actually go out and go to the after
Texas
party.
was reviewing the destruction call on White 6, saying that the black blockers re-entering from the box had established a pack in the back. Those black blockers were 20 feet out from the white blockers, so there was no pack. The destruction call will stand.
And I think if we can hear that in our headphones, they can hear that on the broadcast.
Just in case they didn't, that penalty as called of destruction of pack by the black blockers being too far back from the pack, that does stand. We're going into jam number 23 with number 28, Dr. Feelgood, jamming in white for the Texas Outlaws. Mr. Testosterone with a spin around the outside in black for the Vancouver Murder is your lead jammer, but followed closely behind by Dr. Feelgood.
G.I. Joel out of the penalty box. Whoa!
Dr. Feelgood taking to the air, does not successfully land that, receives a cutting penalty. Lead goes to Vancouver and Power Jam with 1 blocker left on the track for the Outlaw. Mr. Testosterone seeing another blocker join.
Here they come. Now they have 3 blockers, but no.
They're too far behind. That's 10 points picked up by Vancouver in this pass so far. That is most likely a lead change again.
Yep, 15 points on the scoreboard so far.
Bruceberry Pie reports to the penalty box.
That makes, let's see, 20-point jam for Mr. Testosterone. He came out of that pack with a vengeance as we have another lead change, folks. Ooh, Dr. Feelgood sneaking out of the penalty box, sneaking through the pack.
Everyone's in a hurry to pick up every point they can. Dr. Feelgood gets 4 points on that.
24-4 jam so far in favor of Murder.
That is 2-5-6 trying to pull a draw at the back there. Mr. Testosterone calls that off. 4 points to the Texas Outlaw. 4 points as well to Vancouver on that last pass.
28-point jam for Mr. Testosterone. Amazing. 198 to 186 for Texas.
That is the highest scoring jam so far this game. The first half, neither team scored more than 14 points in any single pass. It's a significant increase here at this late in the game. I see an official review being signaled by our NSO at the pivot line, pointing towards the Vancouver bench. Whew. I checked the scoreboard. That is Vancouver's official review flashing.
And only a minute 39 seconds left on the game clock.
If you have no timeouts and still an official review available, use the official review, even if you don't need it as an official review. Looks like they do have something to discuss, though, with both captain and alternate for Vancouver, out at the center of the track.
Vancouver with that 12-point lead. And it looks like they may have, no, let me see. Do they have one in the penalty box? Oh,
Not yet, they don't.
Okay.
I expect those blockers will be joined by Zimmer, who is in the middle there. Texas enjoying some calisthenics at the pivot line.
And that's Great Wall of Gina, their coach, a.k.a. Tiger Mom, doing it with them. Oh, that is not Great Wall of Gina. Sorry, they're wearing the same shirt. They're wearing their coaches' shirts.
I kind of think you were just looking for an excuse to say that name.
I know. I love that name.
Simply the best.
That one's easier to master for you than Fluster.
Oh my God. I'm glad our head announcer also did it at exactly the same time, so he understands. Unfortunately, mine will be out there forever, and his is already evaporated into the air on the house call.
Vancouver was asking for a skating out of bounds penalty on the white jammer. We did observe some contact. The white jammer was attempting a maneuver and failed, which put him out of bounds. We will not issue a penalty. Vancouver does not retain their review.
So just in case you could not hear that, we can hear it in our headphones, but you might not hear it out there. Vancouver was looking for an out-of-bounds skating penalty on the Texas Outlaws jammer. They were not successful with that review, so Vancouver loses their official review for this last time. We're going into this jam with number 8, Lodge, in black for the Vancouver Murder. 151, the enabler, in white for the Texas Outlaws. Crowd is getting a bit more excited. So is Muffin Tumble. That rolling whistle signals the end of all reviews. 5 seconds called by our non-skating official.
And they're off. Lodge dodging around, hitting the back of the pack. Enabler at the front of the pack. Oh my God, Enabler is your lead jammer. Lodge tapped out of bounds, taking a hard hit. I believe that was Rhino. 4-2 pack advantage for Murder and a successful star pass for Murder out on their initial pass.
That is Bennett, your active jammer for Vancouver now. 4 points in the air for the Texas Outlaws.
3-2 pack advantage right now for Vancouver Murder.
And Vancouver threw the pack fast on that pass. 4 points for Vancouver. Currently 4 points apiece. That hits Bennett to the outside.
Lamborghini's one-man army doing some defense to the back of the pack, along with a little jammer-on-jammer defense played by Enabler. But Bennett is through.
That puts Bennett ahead by 4 points.
Yep, 8-4 in favor of Murder so far this jam. Enabler, oh God, stuck. Oh, returning, what's going on? Okay, he's returning behind everyone to be safe. Continuing to say Bennett through again.
That is 5 points to Bennett.
14 points total for Bennett.
9 seconds left on the clock. Both teams on their feet at the sidelines. Bennett comes through for another 5 points.
Great Wall of Gina calling a timeout. 1 second left on the clock. Texas using a timeout.
That was a 14-8 jam.
212 for Murder. 194. Oh, and counting. 217. 19-point jam. 8 points for Texas. 194. 194 to 216 in favor of Murder.
We will go one more jam.
Whew.
As I said at the beginning of this, I come out of every MRDA game that I have watched so far at the Big O so wound up for Derby, always down to the last second. Every point counts.
Oh, that was an exciting jam. So much happening. So many penalties, too. I think that we saw so many just going in and out, and back to play. And I think we do have a few Texas blockers in the penalty box for this next one.
We definitely have a couple of Vancouver blockers. I can see stand aside there.
It might be 2-2.
Because nothing can happen in 1 second. This will be the last jam. Thank you all for coming out.
Dr. Feelgood lined up for Texas. And Mr. Testosterone, they're giving a little hugs on the jam line for the last jam of this game.
That team timeout may have changed to an official timeout. You see our NSO at the pivot line with an official timeout sign.
Murder leading by 22 points.
Texas Outlaws player 126 trying to fire out the crowd and teammates.
Shuffling of blockers by Murder. Bruce Pie, as she's actually going back. Bruce Pie will be joined by Zimmer.
Both teams have only 2 blockers on the track. This game is going to be decided by how these jammers approach the beginning of this jam.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. So good. What a great ending to this game.
Shrewsbury Pie sitting close, trying to reach for Mr. Testosterone to do some stopping there. Hit to the inside for number 28. That is a no pass, no penalty, not lead for Dr. Feelgood, even though he's through the pack first.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Testosterone gets lead, calls it off.
Oh, my heart. Wow, what a game. Both teams playing just so great. Oh, my God. So, unofficial. Oh, God.
That score is going to stay as it was at the beginning of that last jam. 2-1-7 for Vancouver. 194 for the Texas Outlaws.
They took away 216 to 194. Great bout. Oh, that was so exciting. I'm so excited for those Vancouver men. So excited for Texas. Great showing by Texas this whole tournament. So don't forget, next up, more men's roller derby coming up. St. Louis versus Houston collision next up at 4:30 on track 2.
The end of our day today, we'll see 2 MVP bouts. We will have a junior MVP bout followed by an adult co-ed MVP bout. Those MVP skaters have been chosen throughout the last 2 days of gameplay by the teams that they have played against. It's sure to be an exciting matchup of all the top derby players we've seen from all teams. I've really enjoyed this game today. Vancouver Murder versus Texas Outlaws. I am Regrettal.
I am Muffin Tumble.
We will talk to you later.
To the bar.